it's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, you know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong and it will inflict pain on you. The other outcome is when you do what you're supposed to do. You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong and you're gonna feel gratified and you're gonna feel worthy of this life.
Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.
And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Some of you can't just let girls go. Let it go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you're pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them.
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. There is only one way. Get up and go.
You need to be the master of your emotions, not let them affect you.
Get control of your feelings. By getting control of your feelings, you gain control of your life. When you do this over and over and over again, you change your brain. You become tougher. You become the one who decides what gets done and the level of success you achieve.
Discipline is something you dictate. Motivation won't make you exercise every day. Discipline will. Motivation won't stay up late and finish a project for you. Discipline will. Motivation isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Discipline will. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future.
Some of you are not successful because you think effort is success. You think because you put in 40 hours that you're supposed to get some because you put in 40. It don't work like that in the school of hard knocks. They don't care how many hours you put. They just want to see the execution. So you feeling in your spirit like, yo, but I did just as much as he did. I studied just as much as he studied. It doesn't matter. You just gotta execute.
You gotta get a little bit more intense about your life. You gotta stop being so casual. It's decisions we make to chase that best version of us every second, every day, because every day alters the direction of the course of our lives.
We are losing control. And it's time to take control. You've held up your someday. And here's the crazy part. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. All you gotta do is deal with yourself, and then we're gonna get to a whole other level. At some point, you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control? I know you don't wanna wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. There's a certain lifestyle we want. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You need to learn to tell you stop. You need to learn to tell you quit. Every single day, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dream to get.
Some days you wake up, you in the mood. Some days you're not in the mood. A calendar does not care if it's your birthday, if it's a holiday, if you're not feeling good. A calendar does not care. A schedule does not care. So what happens is when you're consistent and you do something every day, you do it over and over and over again, it becomes a habit.
More stuff comes to you when you execute, son. Execution, baby. We will do it by listing our priorities. We will do it by shutting everything else out. We will do it by saying no to everything that does not apply to our priority. We will do it by getting focused, laser focused. This will be the year that you stop half doing stuff. You stop half doing sports, half doing school, half writing that book. This will be the year of execution. And we'll do it one day at a time. And you're gonna get control. And when you get control over that one area, you're gonna blow up in every area, and then someday gonna be your day. If you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want, and there ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to stick in there, if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to fight, it ain't nothing you can't have.
Discipline your body, free your mind, get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be.
Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, the tree is not going to fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she's going to come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. I need you to do me a huge favor. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. And watch you go from zero to a multi-million-dollar company. Nothing's changed, guys. I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing 20 years ago. I just keep doing it. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, are you hearing what I'm telling you? You're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You got to be intentional and deliberate, whether you're making money or not making money. You got to decide that you're going to do something, and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're not intentional and deliberate. You're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is going to happen to you.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. All the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future.
There's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this really isn't for them and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you can be the person who's committed. You can be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens. No matter how frustrated I get. No matter how angry I get. No matter what happens in the world. No matter what, I'm fucking doing this. Those are the people that are going to win.
You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. You have to do more. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of, man, I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. Once you get there, that's when you know you've done enough. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you know when to do it, you gotta second the up to do it.
People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
You guys have got to believe in yourself. Headstrong, mentally tough. It's the only way through the bullshit here in life. Winners, the difference between them and the spectators is that the winners have a belief that overrides the crowd's disbelief every single time. Their belief is so strong, even though they hit failure, they get knocked on the ass. They're finding the intentional fortitude to stand back up again, face that same challenge, learning from the previous mistakes, and make it happen. Winners fail a million times. What makes them a winner is that they believe it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest f***ing worker there. No longer are we going to accept rhymes and society's rhyme the reason that we are average. Average is a weak mentality. We must believe it so much so that we're arrogant about it. We must be pissed off for excellence.
The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route.
You working out, you want to die. Feel the death happening in you. Feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat, because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the inevitable other end of the spectrum where you're laying in your hammock, you're sipping on a protein shake. Boy, I really went hard. I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life. Go hard. Die hard.
Life can throw you some curves. And it's not just the things that you see coming, but sometimes it's the things that you didn't see coming that hit you out of nowhere, that set you back in such a way that it seems like you can't get over. And you've reached your limit and your bandwidth is full. And you already said, I can't take another thing. And then out of nowhere, here comes something you didn't see coming and you're in it.
And in your homes, somewhere in your heart, these words are echoing. Am I going to make it?
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then. For that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. There are times when your energy feels so depleted that you want to give up, that it looks just totally impossible. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, don't give up then. That's when you've got to fall forward, when life is kicking dirt in your face. Don't give up then. That's when most people turn back.
As long as you're alive, there is hope.
You're still alive. You're still here.
It's never too late, and it's never too dark, and we can always turn things around.
There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it, because that pain is what makes you stronger.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. You can't grow up on easy street. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. And you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You were there. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder when people didn't support me. You better grind, because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Whatever it is, you'll be stuck there. Why don't I get something for it? You ain't got to have the best head in life. You ain't got to start with the two-parent background. You ain't got to start with wealth. You ain't got to start with your parents graduated. It's not the hand that you dealt. It's how you play your hand.
When people die or people get sick or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, nothing can stop you. No mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you when it's deeper than just money and stuff. I can. I will. I must. It's going to rain sometimes. I will. You're going to feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I will. I will. I must.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how big the giant is, you can win.
I want you to go in confidence that you've never had before. And every giant in your life, slay him. You go back and slay him. Don't kill him, slay him.
My glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning, in solitude, where I try, and I try, and I try again, with everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be. Then claim one victory that no one can ever take away from me, ever. A victory that is earned every single day. A victory of determination and will and discipline. A victory achieved because I will not stop.
It's the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. build the character winning blocks of the things that we'll remember for. Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time.
Some of y'all so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet.
And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. If you wanted to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to happen, rise and grind. Because this is my time. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today.
It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you, you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Make a personal declaration and wage a war against being average. You have full control over your mind. You're at the steering wheel of your life. You dictate what you become. You just have to get a grip and demand control. The situation you're in right now, it's uncomfortable, it's miserable, it sucks, but it's manageable.
If you neglect to program yourself, life will program you. To start reinventing your life, you must consciously and determinedly make a concentrated effort. You must wholeheartedly commit yourself and put everything you've got in it.
But make no mistake about it, it's very challenging to act, to do those things. Sometimes you know what to do, you know you need to do it, but you just don't feel like it. Your feelings will be kicking and screaming that you should just stop.
Most of us yearn for that special feeling of enthusiasm in the morning, feeling like, oh, I feel great this morning. I can't wait to get started on this project, on this job, on this workout. If you're seeking that feeling, let me tell you one thing, it will never come.
You must learn to act even when you don't feel like it. Tap into that savage mentality within you. Do you think a savage cares about their feelings? No! They simply take action, regardless of how they feel. Learn to be your best self, even when you lack the motivation. Stop relying on a feeling to dictate your life. Discipline your mind to get up and get it done no matter what. When things are going bad, those with a savage mindset don't quit. Their only focus is figuring out how to overcome the situation. Quitting is not an option. They strive to thrive, not just survive. It's a commitment, not a feeling. Commitments have nothing to do with your feelings. You do it because you're supposed to. When you get up in the morning, you don't give yourself a choice. You grind no matter what.
When you're just not feeling it, you gotta force yourself. When everything in you is kicking and screaming, you have to take control and tell yourself, I do not stop.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
Don't allow pain to undermine your belief in your potential. Your body hears everything your mind tells it. Any discomfort you experience in a situation is remembered by your body, but it's merely the messenger.
Invest in today for a better tomorrow. That's exactly what we're doing here, being smart about it. Mindset comes first. If we aimlessly go through the motions without knowing our purpose, we end up being average, forgotten, unnoticed. Put an end to that. You must be more intelligent than the average person. You gotta work hard and you gotta work smart. Life doesn't give you what you want. It reflects who you are. That means showing up every single time on time. Why? Because I strive to be the best. It's a binary choice. Either you are or you're not. Either you excel or you simply won't. You either become what you aspire to be or you don't. It's not influenced by external circumstances, but by internal ones.
So get rid of all the excuses and reasons why you think you can't succeed. They are all lies. Every excuse you've ever made in your life is nonsense. Because there are people out there who have faced worse circumstances than you, encountered greater challenges than you, endured more struggles than you, and yet they still accomplish their goals every single day of their lives.
The quality of your life comes down to your level of self-discipline. You have to challenge yourself. You have to discipline yourself. You have to encourage yourself. That is the only way you can master yourself. You cannot change your life overnight. You have to take it step by step. You have to get up when you don't want to get up. You have to work out when you don't feel like working out. You have to study when you know you need to study. Discipline is a muscle that you build every single day of your life. It's your job to maintain it, to do the hard things, and train harder and harder every day to get better and better and build a life of greatness.
Who are you when no one is watching? Are you the one who's up before everybody else? Are you up at midnight, 1 a.m., grinding, putting in miles, putting in those extra reps, putting in that blood, sweat, and tears, working on your craft? Because it's what we do when no one is watching that separates the best from the rest.
When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you'll live the life most people never will.
When you look back after working your butt off, you will see that every challenge that was ever put in front of you, all the knockdowns, breakdowns, and every bit of the pain and daily struggles will all be worth it.
The question isn't, can you handle the situation? The question is, can you handle your mind? Can you manage the thoughts and the emotions that are trying to poison your progress? Forget managing the situation. Manage your mind.
Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. I don't have time. I don't have support. I don't have the right equipment. I'm too busy. I'm too tired. I'm too sore. I don't have the energy. I'm just not feeling it. These are all flat out lies. The only thing that's actually stopping you is you.
You mustn't allow your impulses to govern and dictate your reality. You cannot keep repeating the same foolish mistakes over and over and over and call it your life.
If you think your life is bad, it isn't. No, what's bad is your ability to modify, to make alterations, to make corrections. You fix that, you'll fix your life. If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You built every single step to create this. No accidents. Just taking the easy road too many times. Not getting up. Not putting in that extra rep. Not putting in that extra mile. Those are the little inches that add up to be first place or forgotten. But you have the ability to improve, to make a greater effort every single day. You gotta commit to yourself that you're gonna push yourself harder than you ever have, harder than anyone expects of you, harder than you think you can.
Some things won't come instantly to you. You must wear them down through consistent pressure, repeatedly, without stopping. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you were gonna do.
Because most days, you'll wake up and not feel pumped up. Most days, you'll wake up and not have the desire to grind. But when you can reach a point where you do it regardless of how you feel, there is no way you won't achieve your goals.
I need you to give 120% and do it for the pride of who you are.
Stand up for your dreams. Stand up for what you want in your life.
Because life will reflect back what you give it.
What does the successful person do that the average person doesn't? They do everything they're supposed to and a little bit more. They work hard and a little bit more. They earn a little bit more. They save a little bit more. They grind a little bit more. They sweat a little bit more. They do whatever they gotta do and a little bit more. You wanna succeed in this life? You gotta do what you're supposed to and a little bit more. And you can never stop at the finish line. Many people wish they could do what the greatest people of all time have done, but very few of those people are willing to put the work in to get it. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. I don't care about the circumstances around you, because it's not what occurs around you that determines your success. It's what occurs within you. And you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude and your mindset. You have an opportunity right now to make the right decisions. Are you making the decisions to lead you to the NBA, to take you to the NFL, to land you that job you always wanted, to pass that test? It's one thing to dream about it, but it's a whole nother thing to wake up when you know you should wake up.
to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, to say no to quitting when you have 100 more shots to make, to force yourself to execute when your body screams that you stop and you still got 50 more push-ups to go. You can't just talk about it. You must execute. Execution is worshipped. Nearly everyone reaches that point. Nearly everyone overcomes those obstacles. Nearly everyone has some momentum. Almost becomes a way of life for almost everyone. But the people who win, they get it done. They do whatever's required over and over and over for as long as it takes.
Because they're pissed off for greatness. And if you're not pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre. Mediocre people don't ever do their best. They do the least amount they have to and nothing more. Where the greats do everything they possibly can and keep pushing to find higher levels within themselves. They become unstoppable. To them, every day is a new day to attack without mercy, to put the pressure on, to get aggressive. They realize that practice never makes perfect, but it makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And so all you got to do is look for new breakthroughs through practicing more and more and more, and you'll see yourself getting better and better and better. Yes, you're tired. Yes, your mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But you cannot quit because you realize you have not reached the goal yet. You have come too far to quit in the process. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for your pain.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're going to do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together, and just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up, or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything. And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and
and clobbers you to the ground. It's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's going to give you. If you want to win, you got to show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself. In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't fade, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Time is limited. How many Wednesdays do you have left? How many months? How many weeks? How many years? How many minutes? That clock is ticking, and it's gonna run out. There's people with dreams, incredible dreams, beautiful dreams, heartwarming dreams, but who executes? Without execution, those dreams are nothing. Without execution, those goals are nothing. Without execution, those ideas are nothing. Without execution, you become nothing.
How strong is your movement? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you go to sleep? And how much time do you waste throughout the day?
The plan, the idea, the thoughts doesn't matter. If you want to win, you have to execute. So what are you doing with your time? Are you doing something productive? Are you moving towards a goal? Making yourself better? Or are you letting time slip by, wasted, consuming garbage with no purpose and no point? Stop wasting time and get after it. It's little decisions that put you on the right path.
Are you working out today or sleeping in? Are you studying today or wasting time? Are you making yourself better today or slacking off? When you make your decision, make the right decision.
What would happen to your life if you decided to stop counting the costs? If you started doing whatever is required? If you stopped holding yourself back?
What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? I say you crank up the volume on that voice. Crank up the volume on that question. Max it out. And then go get some.
You got to get to the point where you don't care how it feels. You don't care whether you want to do it, whether you don't want to do it, whether it's easy, whether it's hard. None of that matters. All that matters is that you get it done every single day. You do whatever it takes.
So if you're running 30 miles a week, run 33. If you're swimming 500 meters, swim 550. If some of you aren't doing you're 10% just getting off the couch. The more you walk away from accountability, the weaker you become. Find yourself in the grip of life. You can't find yourself by doing nothing.
When you get to that point, it's not just a mindset. It becomes a fucking lifestyle. You become an unstoppable disciplining machine, and you create a life of greatness.
That's why I'm successful. I got that dog. After 20 years of doing it, I still got that dog. And with that dog, I execute. Sharks are hunters and predators. They never stop swimming. In fact, if a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. Think like a shark, act like a shark, and behave like a shark. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to execute what I've been trained to do. And that's how you get to the next level.
If you want to be great, if you want to reach a level others will be measured by, you've got to be willing to work every single waking hour. You've got to be obsessed. You've got to be willing to get it done or die trying. Rest when you must. Recover when needed. But don't ever stop grinding. Never take your foot off the gas. Never stop. Never quit. You got to dedicate every single hour of every single day, of every single week, of every fucking year for many years to reach greatness.
When you are consistently hammering on that project, on that goal, on that dream, you will no longer be dreaming about success. You'll be living it.
The thing that's different about people who win consistently across the course of their life is that we expect the wins to happen all the time. They don't come as a surprise. Wins don't shock winners. They aren't amazed when they got a win any more than Michael Jordan was amazed when he hit a game-winning shot. That's what he expected. That's what we focused on. That's what we acted to do. That's what we worked to do. And because of all those things, we expect to win every time. Zero exceptions. True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can. The greatest of all time, the Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants of the world. They might celebrate hard, but they don't celebrate long. Come Monday, come the next morning, they're back at it. They're focused, they're undistracted, they're driven, they're enjoying their progress, they're enjoying their wins, but they're not over celebrating them. And that's the attitude you have to have toward a single victory if you want to make it a lifestyle and a lifetime of winning.
Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. You don't have time. You don't have support. You don't have the equipment or the gear. You're too busy, and you're too tired, or you're too sore, or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies, lies, lies.
You cannot let your impulses govern and rule your life.
I just don't want you to make the same stupid mistakes over and over and over again and call it life. I don't want you to keep doing dumb stuff and say, my life is miserable. No, your life is not miserable. Your ability to edit, to make adjustments, to make corrections is messed up.
If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You've built every single step to create this. No accidents. Just taking the easy road too many times, not getting up, not going for that extra rep, putting that extra mile in, the little inches of life that add up to be first place or forgotten.
Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kids, and you realize that I am where I am because of other people's sacrifice. I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen.
You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
When you master yourself, you put yourself in a position that a lot of people can't do what you do, and then you become rare, and diamonds are rare. That's why they cost so much.
This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride.
I need you to give 120% and do it for the pride of who you are.
Because life is gonna give you back what you give it.
And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, you're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is gonna happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something, and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're a good person that just hopes that good stuff is gonna happen to you.
If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up.
What does a $500,000 a year person do that $50,000 a year person doesn't do? He does everything he's supposed to and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He makes money a little bit more. He saves money a little bit more. There's no easy way to the top. If you want to win in this life, you got to do what you're supposed to and a little bit more, and you can't ever stop at the finish line. You know what you got to do to hit a golf ball like me? You got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You go down and you hit 1,000 golf balls. You hit so many golf balls that your hands starts bleeding. Then you run up to the clubhouse, you wash that blood off your hand, you slap a bandage on it, and you go down and you hit another 1,000 golf balls. Yeah, you'd love to hit a golf ball like me if it was easy. Well, nothing good comes easy.
I don't care what's going on around you, because it's not what happens around you that determines your success. It's what happens inside you. And you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude and you can control your mindset.
You get one shot. You better make the kind of decisions that's gonna take you to the NBA. You better make the right decisions that's gonna take you to the NFL. It's one thing to dream about your destiny, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, saying no to quit when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your body said stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it.
Almost everybody gets there. Almost everybody's over the hump. Almost everybody has it going. Almost is a way of life to almost everybody, but the winners, they do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to have achieved something unique and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else.
And I'm telling you, you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to get up 1 hour early. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button. If you were to make that one change, that one sacrifice, you would stop dreaming and start living it. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? How much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
Life, at times, throws at us battles we never enlisted for. Battles that arrive unannounced, unchosen, and certainly unanticipated. These times that test your limits. Will this pain make you or break you?
Life is not always easy. In fact, some of you today, you're hearing this and you're going through the toughest season of your life. There will be seasons where we will suffer. There will be seasons of real pain.
You're going to want to feel like falling apart. You're going to want to just lay down and at times.
And the question is, how will you respond in those moments? This choice is what will determine the rest of your life.
You're not going to see any way out of this misery. But if you can hold on to hope that this thing you're facing will pass, you can find a way through it.
It might not look like it right now, but you can get through it. You might not have the solution figured out yet, but you can get through it. You might not see any light at the end of the tunnel at this moment, but you can get through it.
You're tougher than you think you are. You can go through more than you think you can. Think about all you've been through already. Every single one of those problems you faced, you made it through. You made it to this moment right now.
And whatever's in front of you won't destroy you. It may hurt, it may be painful, it may test you harder than anything else has, but you have what it takes to make it through.
And when you're going through all that, I want you to remind yourself that it is worth it. It's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth pumping yourself up and talking to yourself positively. It is worth the effort. Because when you get to the other side, there's gonna be so much more for you.
And there's gonna be a greater version of yourself that you didn't even know existed because you went through that. The person you become in this process of fighting for your life, for your family, for your loved ones, for your dreams is greater than you could imagine. These tragedies and trials are what build you up. Every time you face rejection or encounter pain and keep fighting forward, you become stronger.
And it's not about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside of you. Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
The sentence out of your mouth is a story that you are putting out into the universe. I'm not gonna make it. I quit. This is too hard. Business is never coming back. We've lost too many people. I've made too many mistakes. I'm a failure. Nobody can help me. I've done too many bad things.
I don't know what's coming out of your mouth, but if it's anything like that, it's killing you. And as you continue to say those things, as you continue to declare it, don't be surprised when it becomes true in your life.
You have to make sure that whenever you feel those negative instincts, you have to consciously catch yourself thinking that and replace it in your mind with a positive thought. You start fighting back against your mind. No, I can make it. No, I'm not done yet. I can handle this. I can do this. And in the end, I'm gonna win.
The greats of the world, they get to it and then go through it. They don't stop at difficulties. And the harder it is, the better, because the payoff will be just that much sweeter.
The battles you face are indicators of the blessings that await you. If you're facing opposition, it means you're building something worthwhile. People do not challenge those who are not creating progress.
You're tired. Your mind is urging you to quit, but you cannot. You've come too far. You've invested too much to give up now. Don't let the pain break you. Let it redefine you. Your pain is not permanent. Whatever you're dealing with now will not be a problem forever, as long as you keep moving and keep making progress. You are bigger than your problems. They're not tougher than you. You can get through them.
If you lose your job, if you go through a divorce, if you're coming back from addiction, if you're coming back from failure after failure after failure, and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, you must know within yourself, there must be a deep inner knowing of your true identity. You gotta know you are a winner. You were born to win. It is your right to win. It is your right to have your dream. You don't get these ideas unless you also have the capacity to make it happen.
You need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
And you gotta declare to yourself and the world, I'm gonna live to tell the story. This too shall pass, and I will remain. I'm not gonna quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it.
Just keep coming back. No matter what happens, no matter how dark it gets, no matter what you lose along the way, just keep showing up. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life is just showing up.
And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you, on the other side is a reward.
You have been disappointed over and over and over again. And every time you try, you come up short. Sickness is cyclical. It comes around, it goes around. You're well for a little while, and then it's the same thing all over again, but this time it's only worse. Because now, not only are you back where you started, but you have less hope that it is ever going to be different, because you've cycled through it one more time just to realize, well, I guess I'm just a cynical person. Well, I guess I'm just a negative person. Sickness becomes normal to you, and it starts to be easier for you to just accept the condition than to challenge it. Because to challenge the condition means to risk disappointment. And some of us have tried, got blocked. Tried, got blocked. Tried, got blocked. And now people see you and they assume that you don't care. No, I care. I cared, and I cared so much, but they didn't care back. And I tried so hard, and I still got looked over. And don't you know it's hard when your expectation has been damaged by disappointment? It's a slow damage. It's a slow tearing of the muscle fibers. It's a slow deterioration of your hope by disappointment. It is not one event that creates it. It's over and over. I tried and I tried and I smiled and I stayed and I disciplined and I showed up and I didn't care. And the man has finally gotten to a place where he is tired of trying.
See, life is rough, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough. Things that's going to happen to you in life, ladies and gentlemen, make it okay. I can change how I respond to it. I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay. Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You are powerful. You direct the power in your life. Whatever your life is right now, it is a duplication of your consciousness. It's a result of how you have decided to use your power. That's all it is. That's not who you are. That's just a perverted use of your power that you aren't satisfied with. And you've got the power to change that. But you don't know what has happened to me. It really doesn't matter what has happened to you. See, the only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it? That's all that matters. That no matter what you do to me, how cold and callous you are to me, lack of sensitivity, how cruel you might be to me, you're not going to change me.
It's the obstacles in our life. It's the hardships. It's the mountains that we climb that make life worth living. But the mountain's not supposed to stop you. Your mountain has the materials for your miracle.
Your conditions are not always in your control. You don't always get to decide what kind of skies you face. There are some things that are outside of your control, but your courage is in your control.
Take that leap of faith. Trust yourself and know within yourself that everything is going to be all right.
There is something that I learned through what I went through that made me who I am. There's a purpose for it. I'm not a hostage. You have to make a decision that every experience is my education.
and I'm gonna discover the opportunity for me to grow and for me to get better. I'm telling you, I've already made up my mind that I know I will fall down. I know that I will stumble, but I already see myself getting back up. Therefore, I'm never down. I'm either up or getting back up. I will learn from this thing.
The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. People know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
While they judge you, you grind. While they make fun of you, you double down on your effort. While they sleep, you study. While they keep talking about you, you keep working.
And years from now, when they look at their own life and compare it to yours, they'll look like in comparison to you, because you will be miles ahead of them.
You've got to focus on you. There's gonna be so much noise from the outside world trying to steal your focus, trying to tell you you're not good enough. There's gonna be haters all the time on what you're trying to accomplish in your life.
You gotta shut them up with your results. The best way to silence them is through activity, through success.
Who cares what they say? Who cares what they think? You've got to be so confident, so committed, so locked in on your mission that you don't even notice them anymore. They blur into the background while you focus entirely on your goals.
When life presents its challenges, it's a call for you to stand up for yourself, to fight back. You're going to be attacked constantly by all these voices around you and sometimes within you. Don't let the negative thoughts or the words of others derail you. Affirm to yourself that you can do it. You can handle it. You're going to get through it. No small obstacle can halt your progress. The strategy is to keep your focus directed inward, consistently working on improving yourself, pursuing your dreams, and building your future.
Your success and achievements will speak volumes, serving as your comeback to any disbelief and negativity.
Always remember, the real victors in life are those who concentrate on their path, building their own road to greatness, undisturbed by the distractions that surround them.
When you can focus solely on you, you stop giving about what others think. You activate your button, and this is what you gotta do if you want to be successful. Because the world doesn't give a about your dreams. It's gonna beat you down and take it all away from you if you let it. So you gotta decide that you're gonna stand up for yourself, and you have to grind every day.
You're going to have to lose something where you're trying to go. You might have to give up some friends. You might have to give up some opportunities. You might have to give up some stuff in order to go from good to great. Develop a single-minded obsession with your goals. You have to eat, sleep, and breathe your dreams. Every action, every thought should be aligned with getting you closer to where you want to be.
This process is about discipline, pushing yourself even when you don't feel like it. It's about waking up every day, starving for success, ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way.
And yes, it's gonna be hard. People will talk, question, and doubt you constantly, but that's their problem, not yours. Your job is to stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize.
Doing what you hate to do is one of the most powerful disciplines you can develop. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, tackling the tasks you dread, and facing your fears head on. It's not just about enduring discomfort, it's about actively seeking it out and conquering it.
And all these average people around you won't understand why you're doing so much, why you're trying so hard, why you won't just take a break and hang out with everybody. They won't get it. And that's why they won't ever reach the levels of success you will. Because as you stay focused on the goal at hand and you keep pouring in all this time and effort into that thing, you'll start to see massive returns on that investment.
Normal people will keep judging you and won't ever understand and continue talking about you. Don't waste your time trying to change their minds. Just shut them up with your results. Because the best revenge in life is massive success.
you prove them wrong with success, they won't have anything left to talk about.
But in order to get to that point, you gotta have mental toughness. It's easy to do things when you feel like it, but doing something you hate, especially when you don't want to, is hard. But the more you do it, the more you push yourself to execute when your body and mind tells you to take a break, the stronger your willpower to do hard stuff will become. You build your level of grit through completing hard tasks. They will make you stronger.
The things we resist are the things that offer us the most significant opportunity for growth. By facing these tasks, you find new passions, develop new skills, and uncover strengths you didn't even know you had.
And when you're working, you need to minimize distractions. In today's world, with constant notifications and interruptions, it's crucial to create an environment conducive to focus.
Managing your time is absolutely essential. Don't just wing it. Plan your days and stick to that plan. Break your tasks into smaller chunks so you don't get overwhelmed and lose your mind. Stay on track and don't let procrastination get the better of you. The real champions of this world, they don't play around with focus like it's some short-term game. They commit to it like it is their lifeline. They lock in on their goals with a laser-like focus, and they don't let go. Not for a day, not for a week, not for a month. They stay dialed in for as long as it damn takes. They treat their objective not just as distant dreams, but as inevitable realities. Their goals are not mere wishes. They are future truths they're working to manifest. Every step they take, every decision they make is driven by an unwavering commitment to their vision.
It's this level of dedication, this refusal to be sidetracked or derailed, that separates the true achievers from everybody else in the world.
You're gonna have so many people tell you, you don't have what it takes. How are you, of all people, gonna do that? You're being unrealistic. You're not gonna make it. Don't believe a word they say. You're gonna have to block out the noise of everyone around you and focus on yourself.
You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. It's not the genetic guy who wins, or the guy with the most potential that wins. It's a person with the greatest perseverance that wins. Always willing to get up and go at it again and go at it again. That's the guy who has his hand raised later in life, guys. That's the guy you guys need to be.
Every true leader, they're called weird. When you do the things of real leadership, you're going to be called strange. Get strong enough in your own skin that when people laugh at you or when they throw stones at you, you keep on going. What are you going to do now? How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness this, and you'll read about me years from now.
Everybody who wronged you in the past, they going to have to feel you. They gonna have to see you. Don't get even. Don't worry about getting even when you already beat the odds.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. I just kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you.
We all get knocked out. I've had my haters. I've had people who've come against me, who try to sabotage me. I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within.
You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied.
Your ability to go all in, and when I say all in, I mean all. Every moment, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, for as long as it takes for you to get where you're going, you should be consumed with that path. What you do at night matters. What you do in the morning matters. What you do when your friends are out drinking matters. What you do on Saturday matters. What you do on Sunday matters. The success clock doesn't give a what day it is. It's gonna run no matter what. And you guys pretend like you can work 7, 8, 10 hours a day and then spend the rest of your time off, and you think you're gonna be somewhere, and you're not. And you're surrounded by people who enable this
this thought process. Your good friends, your family, people who have accepted mediocrity as a life. Oh, you don't need to work on weekends. Why do you work so hard at night? Why do you get up so early and do that? Why do you train so hard? Why are you reading all these books when we're out drinking beer?
When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why can't you be satisfied? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts.
Anybody ever tell you, hey look, just be satisfied with what you got? No! Don't believe them. Get them away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got. You should double your business. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Easy never pays well. So if you're thinking that it's just going to be a walk in the park, you're dead wrong. You have to give it every bit of effort and energy you have to pull it off. And you have to work harder than everyone else. Work while they sleep, learn while they party, save while they spend, and live like they dream.